John Hunter Nemechek is leaving full-time Cup ride for a full-time truck ride over at Kyle Busch Motorsports. Freddie, you can start this one.
Yeah, Freddie, why don't you tell us what's going to plan for this?
I give him credit because a lot of guys wouldn't do this. A lot of them guys get to Cup and they refuse to go back. No matter what it is, they don't want to go back. And we've talked about on here before, what would you rather do, go to trucks and contend to win races every week or run 22nd in a Cup car? And I think you're going to make a name for yourself winning races in the truck series versus, we talked about John Hunter did a great job. John Hunter did probably better than anybody's done in that front row stuff. But is that going to translate to a better ride in the Cup series versus going out and maybe contending for winning a championship? I think it's a great move. I think more guys should be willing to do that when they're at one of them second or third tier Cup teams, be willing to go back and run, Cup races, Xfinity or truck races and contend for wins. I think this is a move by John Hunter to maybe get back into not get back, but get into the Toyota fold. I think I see some guys that are seeing this 2311 racing as maybe an opportunity to get some more Cup seats in the Toyota program. There's guys coming through like Harrison Burton maybe, or maybe John Hunter. If John Hunter goes out and lights the world on fire and gets some sponsorship money, he could be, I could easily see Denny expanding this to a 2 or 3 car team within the next handful of years without an issue, as long as NASCAR has no issues with it. So, I think it's a move to go back and win races. It's maybe a move to get affiliated with the Toyota program and put yourself set up for the future.
Do you think that was Hemrick's plan by going to Gibbs in an Xfinity car, was to get in the good graces of Toyota?
I think there's a lot of people that are probably seeing this 2311 deal as an opportunity to get more competitive Toyota seats in the Cup Series, and Daniel Hemrick's one of them. John Hunter now is one of them. You're going to see guys like Harrison Burton, Brandon Jones we talked about. There's guys they're going to either get to the Toyota program or try to stay in the Toyota program now, where before it was kind of get to be the experience in Cup, and then you got to or experience winning races like William Byron, and now where do you go? What are you going to do next? So. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
I think the $1 million question on this whole John Hunter Nemechek situation is if he doesn't wreck Cole Custer at the road course, where were they at? Mosport or somewhere?
Mosport.
Yeah.
If he doesn't wreck Cole Custer at that race, would it have changed his career path? Because I know at that time he was in contention, TJ, to potentially go to Junior Motorsports. And I know when he wrecked Cole Custer, they completely took him off the radar, and it changed his career path because of the way he decided to race. Now, was it exciting? Absolutely. Did it upset everybody at Junior Motorsports? Absolutely. I followed John Hunter Nemechek's career. I don't know him personally, but I personally think he has that killer mentality behind the wheel. He wants to win. He wants to win the race. And because of that, I'm not going to question his decision to go from running a C-level car at the Cup Series level to an A-level truck at the Truck Series level. If I'm him and I've got the ability to make $5 million a year driving a Cup car versus $300,000 a year in a truck, I'm going to stay in Cup because it's what's best for me personally. But he didn't have that opportunity. There's no way he was making a whole lot of money driving the car that he was driving. So he can now go back probably and make more money in trucks, have a chance to win races in trucks, which he had no chance of winning in Cup, have a chance to win a championship in trucks. He had no championship. He had no chance of making a playoff over there unless something crazy happened, like what happened at Pocono with Busher that year, right?
Well, he was going to win Talladega until Eric Jones turned right into him, or Blaney or somebody did. He was going to win Talladega.
You're going to have a miracle winner every now and then, but he didn't win a race, and so to go back
not at a mile and a half, he wasn't competitive at them races like that.
But he early in the year he surprised all of us on how competitive he was, and I think it speaks to how talented he is. Now the problem is the teams around him are more resources. Guess what they did? They got faster. The drivers didn't necessarily get better. The cars just got faster. So he went from being able to run 12th in a surprise to right back to 27th, where he's going to run based on the economics of the sport. But TJ spots a lot of races in a lot of different series. Obviously, I watch a lot of races in a lot of different series, and it's a hell of a lot more fun to run up front than it is to run 25th.
Yeah, I understand his thinking on this. Like you said, money things probably fairly equal, probably pretty close to being equal. Probably not a significant change there. He's going to go and be competitive. I think he can I think he can win a handful of truck races this year. You know, he's shown me even in a B truck he could run near the front of the trucks, and now he should have some grade A trucks. So now it's time to perform. Now the stage is set for him to show that he can win in the right equipment. And if he exceeds expectations here like he did in that Cup car, because I think he went quietly, I think he outperformed the equipment that he was in numerous times. You know, he was better than the equipment. The finishes were better than what they should have been. He might get a shot. What Freddie said. Maybe the guy runs good, wins 5-6 races here. Denny, hey, I'm going to start a second team. We got good cars. This is my guy. He can win in good stuff. So that opens the door for that. You got to move up in racing. You need to be winning races. And Chase Briscoe did it, and he went and said he needed to win 8, 9 races, whatever it was, 10 races. Then he did that. Now what's he doing? He's driving a Cup car. So if John Hunter goes and lights the world on fire in trucks, he's probably going to get a decent shot.
So when we talked about this, Brett, a lot of people I think look at it like John Hunter made the Cup financially. He's set. I'm gonna ask you a question, and you might not want to answer this on here. We can cut it out. But do you think Chase Briscoe will make more money in 2020 or 2021?
Oh man, I don't know what exactly the specifics of his deal, Freddie. But I know these rookies are signing contracts for significantly less money than they were even 3 to 4 years ago. And there are some guys in the Cup Series that have even been around a while that are signing contracts for significantly less money. I think the problem is the amount of unsold races. And I think race teams are essentially looking at the drivers and saying, hey, we have unsold races, and guess who's paying for them? You are. You're not going to make some big you're not going to come in here and get some guaranteed big contract. We're going to cap how much money you can make, and that's going to allow us to go out here and really put our budget together, knowing that we don't have to pay you, a driver, a big lump sum of money. And again, I mean, there's guys that are in major organizations right now that aren't making big bucks, and I think it comes down to those unsold races. I mean, TJ just said, go win races, you can move up. Yeah, but you also better have sponsorship to move up, right? So this new car that's coming along that everybody keeps talking about, the savings. I think teams in 2022 spend an enormous amount of money to get ready for this new car, because anything that's an upstart requires a lot of capital up front to do so. This car is extremely different. I mean, I was talking to a NASCAR official this week, and he made the mention of you have to put the seat in the car before you put everything else in the car because of the construction of the car. The tungsten right now, the way it's built, it won't fit in the frame rails. So that's got to be redone. Like we're looking at major cost increases in 2022, not cost savings. So I wish people would stop saying that publicly because sponsors hear that and they go, oh, I'm going to get to pay less money. Dude, there ain't a team owner ever gone to a sponsor and said, hey, we're giving you 20% off because we're spending less money. Teams are still going to spend the same amount of money that they're spending. What they're trying to do, and TJ may agree with me, he may not agree with me. What they're trying to do is make it to where if you have $10 million and your Front Row Motorsports or your whatever motorsports, you have a chance to be competitive. But at the end of the day, these guys with big budgets, and look, there's 4 of them. It's Penske, it's Stewart-Haas, it's Hendrick, and it's JGR. Those guys have money, they have resources, they're the number one OEM within their category. Good luck going out there and trying to outrun those guys. I don't care what kind of car you put on a freaking racetrack.
Yeah, I think they're trying to make the box smaller for people, so people can be, more competitive in that area. It's easier to get into that area, which I think the new car will open the doors to that a lot as well. I think man, I don't know how there's so many unknowns about that car. It's too early to tell anything, competition-wise, how it's going to be, I'm not sure on that yet. But they're spending less money.
For sure. I mean, Freddie, back to your question, man. Obviously, I managed Elliott Sadler for 20 years, and we signed some really nice multi-million-dollar contracts. And having helped other drivers and teams garner sponsorship, listen, man, there are guys making $10 million plus back in the day, and there's still a few that are, right? But these new guys, I don't know how you can realistically in some of the cases even afford to have a manager on their salaries. And at the end of the day, man, if you don't have a manager, you're in trouble. I don't care who you are, because you need that guy helping you, mold your professional career. You need him helping you with your brand. You need him helping you sell sponsorship, helping you sell endorsements. And ultimately, when you get in the car, knowing that all you got to do is race and not have to worry about all that stuff, right? Brandon McReynolds, for example, he did a lot of that for Noah Gragson. And then they hired Joey's management company, Logano. What's it called, TJ? Clutch. Yeah, so then they went out and hired Clutch. Warren Vigas, who worked for me for several years now, manages Joey Logano, right, and helps manage Noah Gragson. Like if you're a guy like Noah Gragson who's trying to make it to Cup and you get a Cup deal, it's hard to really pay a good manager to go out and do the things that need to happen, man. So the landscape has changed a lot, and I think the drivers have took a significant beating on the pay arena of things as far as what they're making, man.
But also, you got to look at these drivers. They aren't bad. 15, 20 years ago, there was a big sponsor that wanted that driver. There's a huge sponsor that wanted that driver, and they were going to go, no matter what. Now, a lot of times, there's not big sponsors aren't sold on these guys that are getting in these cars yet. So it's hard to have that huge sponsor for all the races all year, So I think the guys as well.
I think the guys that have the sponsors are getting paid. There's guys that are bringing sponsorship dollars that are cashing in. But my point was just that, when you have a lot of stuff is based on bonuses. Like where you got a flat salary and you're going to get a percentage of the purse or percentage, a certain amount of bonuses for top 10s, top 5s, and wins. You go out and win 9 Xfinity races and run in the top 3 every week, you're collecting a lot of bonus money on top of your base, to where next year, if you're set at a similar base or maybe a little bit of bump in base and don't collect the bonus money that you're going to be getting this year, your salary or what you end up making is probably going to be pretty close to the same.
I think in 1999 and 2000, man, if you were a rookie, if you were a Buckshot Jones, for example, everybody's heard the name Buckshot Jones. If you haven't, Google the guy, right? Great guy, big-time race car driver out of Georgia. I guarantee you his rookie contract base pay was $1 million guarantee. And there's 4 areas where a driver can make a living, okay? He makes money off his base pay. He makes money, to Freddie's point, off of a percentage of purse. He makes money off of licensing, which is obviously retail. That's the track stuff you're selling or selling on the internet or whatever. And then you make money off your endorsements. That's the 4 avenues a race car driver can get paid. And back in the early years, around 99, 2000, a rookie like Buckshot's coming in, signing $1 million contract, plus purse, okay, plus T-shirts, plus endorsements. So he's easily going to make $3-4 million. There are drivers right now that are making nowhere near that, and we're 20 years later. And I think this is going out on a limb. I think RTA plays a big hand in that, and I think sponsorship plays a big hand in that. But these drivers willing to sign these deals are also playing a big hand in that. You gonna spot Cup next year, Freddie, for half the money what you're making right now?
No, sir.
No. TJ, you gonna spot it for half the money you're making right now? No, it ain't going to happen. But there are guys that are willing to come in and do your job for half the money. And that's what we're seeing right now in the driver market, in my opinion.
You like that video? Do you want more videos? Well, listen closely. Go support our sponsor, OfferPad.com, and submit your home today and receive an offer within 24 hours.